Hello and welcome. Today we are talking about how Modi made Donald Trump chicken out. Why I'm saying because he is known for being taco, Trump always chickens out. It is always said that when you know the weakness of your enemy, you don't need to do anything. They just happen. And that's exactly what Modi did with Donald Trump, who says that he is the master of art of dealing. Modi knows who is the master. Now let's dive down what happened because Modi made only one phone call. He used one billionaire of India and 15% of tariff deal was finalized. And Trump, as always, chickened out. Now, what happened? How Modi used his India's richest businessman Mukesh Ambani to outsmart Donald Trump. Let's see what is the setup. Trump first slapped 50% tariffs on India. We already know that. Now, $90 billion of Indian exports to America was drying. Indian businesses were panicking. And then Modi made his move. He took out the Mukesh Ambani card. Mukesh Ambani is not just India's richest man. He is also Modi's secret weapon in global negotiations. And Trump loves to deal with billionaires. Modi knew this weakness and he used this weakness for his advantage. So what was the problem? That the needed solution. First we have to see what was the problem. The problem was there was a relationship between Reliance, which is a Mukesh Ambani's company, and Russia. What was the problem? Trump saw that Reliance has a $13 billion deal with Rosneft, that is Russian oil, lots of it, almost 500,000 barrels every single day. Reliance was buying from Russia. Trump hates this deal because we are doing the deal with Russia in Indian rupee. If we were buying in dollars, Trump has no problem. But because we are fast forwarding de-dollarization, we are moving away from the dollar. Donald Trump hates that. And to safeguard his country, he sanctioned Rosneft. We already know that. Now, we feel that Ambani is trapped because Rosneft is sanctioned. Ambani cannot buy oil from Rosneft. But we were all wrong. This is exactly what Modi needed, a pressure point. Because Trump thinks he is under control. And Modi wanted this situation to happen so that he can use this as a leverage against Donald Trump. How? Donald Trump on Diwali, he announced that India will stop buying Russian oil. He even posted on his Truth Social that Modi has agreed. But Modi's team denied it immediately. But something also happened along with the Diwali wishes. Something bigger. Trump he thought that he was squeezing Ambani. But it was different. We thought that we are buying Russian oil, that is why the sanctions are happening on us. On the face of it, it looks like this. Because of which Reliance stocks, they started crashing. There's another company called Niara Energy. 41% is owned by Rosneft, the same company from whom Reliance is also buying. Niara was in trouble, Reliance was in trouble, and then comes Modi's counter move. Modi did not panic. He saw this as an opportunity. How? Because Ambani's problem is also America's weakness. Let me explain you how. Reliance petrol pumps are spread all over India. Niara petrol pumps are also spread all over India. If you touch these two companies, that means you're touching India's every citizen's life. Because if Reliance suffers, India suffers. Trump knows this. And this is where the negotiations begin. Modi's message to Trump was very clear. You want Ambani and Niara to stop buying Russian oil? I agree to you. But here is what India needs in return. You have to reduce your tariffs from 50% to 15%. I do not want 25, I do not want 20%, I want 15%, the lowest in the world. drop your tariffs. That is non-negotiable. Means even if you put 16%, we will not agree. But we will also do something in return for you. We will reduce Russian oil, start buying from you. Whatever we reduce from there, we cannot reduce overnight. But if we reduce 10%, we will buy 10% from you. Now, why was Modi doing it? Because $90 billion of export business with the USA, he wanted to safeguard. So he used American president's weakness and used for his advantage. And also one more thing, Reliance will keep on buying Russian oil 90%, 80%, only reduce 10 or 20% in the next 6 months. It's a long game. So Modi stretched the game so long because Trump is an impatient person. He wants the things to happen now. Modi just stretched it. So two weaknesses of Trump was used simultaneously. Now, American president has one more problem. His problem is American farmers. They are drowning. Their corn is not selling, soybeans are not selling, they are rotting in America itself. And American president has to pay $17 billion only as subsidies so that his voters are not angry. Now here is where Modi's second genius moves comes in. Modi has already shifted India to 20% ethanol use in petrol. But what we have done? This policy was going to be implemented in 2028 fully in India. He brought it ahead of schedule by 3 years. That means what we had to implement in 2028, we are going to implement in 2025. Why? Because Modi saw that the negotiations are coming. Why not trap the American president and his voters into our trap? What we did? We are already making ethanol in India through sugarcane. Suddenly, India is switching to corn. India exports already 34 million tons of corn. Now, we will be importing that item which we do not know. We are already exporting, but we are going to import it. And who is the second largest producer of corn in the world? It is America. Now, why are we doing it? When we import corn from America, we are not going to use it for human consumption or for poultry consumption. We are going to use it to make ethanol. We were already doing it from sugarcane. Now we will use corn, which is going to come from America, for ethanol. And who is going to buy this corn from America? It's the same companies who are supplying ethanol to Reliance itself. Yani ki Ambani, he becomes the channel for American exports to India, saving the American farmer, saving American president. Now, Reliance will start reducing Russian oil purchases gradually, not completely. That means we will not get bullied from America. We will reduce it, but enough to show that we are cooperating with America. In return, Reliance also becomes the gateway for American corn. That means Modi is playing a three-dimensional chess with American president. Move 1. Use Ambani's Rosneft deal as a negotiation chip. This is what we did. Brought Trump on the negotiation table. Second, we create artificial corn demand through ethanol policy change from 28 to 25. And third, we offer Reliance as the bridge between American farmers and Indian market. Now what happens? There are three scenarios which are happening now. Trump, he goes to his farmers. I got India to buy your corn, and India has come down. He tells his voters, I pressured India on Russia, they stopped buying Russian oil. This is a huge win. He announces that tariffs have reduced between India and America because India is cooperating now. And he looks like a winner in his country. For Modi goes to his voters. He says, look, we did not compromise. $90 billion of exports business to America has been saved. Tariffs have been reduced from 50% to 15%, which is the lowest in the world. And Indian manufacturers now can compete all over the world, and we have saved the jobs. So Modi also wins. Now comes Reliance. Ambani, he avoids the US sanctions for buying oil from Russia by just reducing 10% of purchases. He also gets cheaper American corn, which can be used for ethanol, and ethanol is again going to be used by Ambani himself. That means we are maintaining our Russian oil connections also. Stock prices in India and oil prices in India also stabilize. And also Ambani gets a chance to expand his influence all over the world by becoming a bridge between American farmer and India. Now, what happens? One more thing which India did, which startled Donald Trump, was in September. India used to buy American oil, but in September we bought 10% less oil. This was not random. This was Modi signaling to America, we can walk away from any deal as we want. And this was pressure building tactics. Trump saw what India was doing, that we were reducing buying American oil instead of Russian oil. We started increasing buying from Russia but reducing from America. He saw that Reliance was committed to Russia, Bharat means India was committed to Russia, and Trump wanted a win for his farmers, for his country. And he was getting desperate, while Modi was playing a long game of waiting. Trump makes his move on Diwali. Maximum visibility, maximum pressure on Modi by saying India will stop buying Russian oil. And Modi's response was thank you, thank you, President Trump. Not my friend Donald anymore. Before the language was my dear friend Donald Trump. This time, thank you, President Trump. Means this is business now. So business language will be used, not friendly language. Now, Indian Foreign Ministry also did something startling on Diwali. Indian Foreign Ministry immediately denied anything. We will buy oil from Russia. We were buying oil from Russia. We will not be pressurized. We did not contradict anything. We were just playing the negotiation theater, which Donald Trump started, and we played along with it. So what happened? Modi told Trump through Ambani, here's the deal. We'll shift from Russian oil purchases to American corn purchases. Reliance will be the vehicle. You drop the tariffs to 15%. In this, everybody wins. Now, why corn and why American corn? American corn is almost rupees 4 cheaper per kilo than Indian corn. So it can be used for ethanol very nicely, but not for food because it is genetically modified, not good for health. Indian farmers will not be affected. Their corn will be used for food and poultry. And American farmers will also celebrate because they get a massive new market in India. And India's plans of using 20% ethanol is a huge number because of the consumption. And everything is revolving around one billionaire, one company called Reliance, which is too big to be sanctioned without hurting India-US relations and big enough to absorb the American agriculture imports. Connected enough, it is such a big company. It is connecting now Russia with India. It is connecting American corn suppliers and oil manufacturers to India also. The transition is perfect and leverage which Modi used was perfect. Now here is where Modi's strategic brilliance comes. He turned Ambani's vulnerability into negotiation power. He created an artificial demand in India for ethanol so that American products can be brought into India, something which India does not even need. He made Trump chicken out, but also make him feel that he won the negotiation. So Modi protected India's exports, India's jobs, India's future, and used American president's ego as a tool in the negotiation table and made him chicken out. Now, what will happen? Watch out for the Reliance stocks prices in the coming few weeks. If the prices stabilize, that means the deal is real. If uncertainty continues, it means the negotiations are still ongoing. Because I always say, if you need to understand geopolitics, you need to follow the money. The market always knows what is happening. And this is a geopolitical masterclass which Modi is giving to us. Modi did not abandon Russian oil because that will damage our image of being autonomous in the world. That American president put pressure, we stopped our relationship with Russia. That we will never do. Modi also did not bow down to America. That will show that Modi is weak. He simply used a billionaire in India, Reliance, to thread a needle perfectly and sew the backside of Donald Trump. Now comes Ambani's role. Ambani has why this relationship is so important because Ambani was the one who attended Trump's inauguration. Modi did not go. He was building relationships as soon as Donald Trump becomes the president. Then Donald Trump flies to Middle East. There was one person who was there to meet Donald Trump, and that was Ambani himself. That means the groundwork was being laid right from the day Donald Trump becomes the president. And Ambani's Rosneft deal, it created that perfect pressure point which the American president wanted to use against us. We used the same pressure point against America itself. And all this planning was made lot of time in advance. Now, Putin. Putin also gave one statement that self-respecting nations do not bow down to pressure, especially India. What was he warning America? That you think you can bully everybody else, not India or China. They will never be bullied. So there's a double tactics. American president is being bullied by Putin, telling him not to bully anybody. And second is that Modi also playing a perfect game of negotiations. Now, this was never oil versus no oil. It was not about oil ever. It was never about tariffs also. It was about market access. Secondly, Trump's weakness is he wants to show himself to be tough in front of the whole world. And Modi knew this weakness. Modi only wanted to protect his country, nothing else. And Reliance becomes the solution to all these problems. 15% number, you will feel that is very high. No, this is a solution. How solutions happen? If you know that India has already devalued their currency by 5%. Plus, we have reduced the GST by 10%. So if 15% of tax comes on us, we have already leveraged ourselves. We have already countered the additional tariffs which are going to come on us. They are not so high and they are very much manageable. Perfect compromise number. That is why I am saying that India's massive market has become our ultimate leverage. 1.4 billion consumers. American businesses cannot ignore, American president cannot ignore. And America cannot even afford to lose this market. Modi knows that. That is why I am saying Modi has really made Donald Trump chicken out from each and everything which he was speaking for the last 8 months. And I want to thank American people for choosing such a person who is such an egoistic person that it becomes very easy for us to manipulate him, use him for our advantage. Now, it might happen that in India the oil becomes a little bit expensive because the cheap Russian oil will start reducing a little bit. But what is the advantage? By buying Russian oil, we are saving $60 billion per year. But if we lose American market, we lose $90 billion of business. Modi did the mathematics. That Reliance will manage the transition. We will start reducing the Russian oil very slowly, but take advantage of ethanol production immediately. So 20% of ethanol will start getting blended into Indian petrol. Our cost will come down. Whatever loss we have from reducing Russian oil, we will compensate through ethanol use, which will be made in India. This is brilliant narrative control which Modi has done through Reliance. One thing more will happen. That cheese, American cheese, which America wants to sell to us, we said, okay, no problem. We'll buy a little bit from you so that your farmers can survive for 4 more months. And you can tell your farmers, oh, I got a deal from Modi. This is how things happen. This is how negotiations happen with Donald Trump. We did not surrender like most of the countries did. And we have protected our farmers also. We have protected our business people also. We have protected our exports also. And we did not reduce the dependency on Russian oil completely. Friends, this is called Trump's desperation being used. American farmers are already pressurizing and turning against Trump. He needs this deal desperately. And Modi can see the desperation in his words. So he negotiated from a position of strength. And when on Diwali the phone call came, or when we talked to Donald Trump, it was not about surrendering. It was about finalizing our terms, both sides. And Donald Trump agreed to everything. Donald Trump's public announcement is going to come very soon. And Modi ji is going to say, let's sit, talk, and finalize. This is what is going to happen. So, when the announcement will come, just watch for Reliance to announce a new American agriculture import deal very soon. You also have to watch out for the Russian oil reduction announcements from Reliance. You also have to watch out the news which is going to come, the tariff reduction confirmation. All the prices, all the pieces will fall down in the right places very soon. And this is happening. And the Modi doctrine is, we don't send our bureaucrats now, we send our private sector champions as diplomatic tools so that we can create a win-win situation for everybody. Reliance wins, Modi wins, and Trump can say, I also won. Even though he is chickening out, only because his voters are going against him. And doing all these things, India has also maintained its strategic autonomy while securing our own economic gains. So friends, please don't listen to what the media is trying to say. China surrendered immediately in front of Trump. Japan surrendered, Europe surrendered, UK surrendered. We did not. And that is why Donald Trump always says Modi is a very tough negotiator. There are words and there's a meaning behind it. And there's a global message also. We will not bow down to ultimatums. India negotiates not as a junior partner or a higher partner, but as an equal partner. And we will use our businessmen as diplomatic assets in the future also. So the coming weeks are going to be very, very important because formal tariff announcements are going to be done. I'm giving this news because Reliance stocks are going to again recover, which has gone down by 10%. And watch out for American corn deals, which are going to happen in India. An American president being, telling to his people, I won this war, I should be given a Nobel Prize, which he will have to wait all his life. This was never about oil. It was all about leverage. Donald Trump was trying to use tariffs as a leverage. Modi used reliance and impatience of Donald Trump as an ultimate negotiation tool. Trump got his headlines, Modi got his tariff reduction, Ambani expands his empire all over the world. And India protected their $90 billion of trade with America just through one call, one billionaire, and one masterstroke. And this is how global games are being played by Modi. What do you think about this strategy? Is this a diplomatic strategy, genius, or a risky gamble? Please tell me in your comments. Thank you. See you soon.